Hi everyone, it's Erica back on the Studio Katia YouTube channel, and today we are doing it all about tulips. We're going crazy for tulips in all sorts of colors. So today's video is going to focus more on coloring, how to get a little bit of contrast and depth to your flowers. I will be using Copic markers, but you could use any medium really that you're comfortable with, any other brand of alcohol markers. I will talk you through it. Some of it will be sped up, some of it will be like crazy fast, so that we're not going to be here all day. But I really hope you will enjoy this video, and if you want more real-time, slow down coloring videos, I would love to hear it. So drop me a comment down in the comments, I guess, yeah. And let me know, and I will do what I can to accommodate. So with that out of the way, let's go for it. Let's do it. So as you can see, I've got a lot of my markers out already, and we're going to be stamping up quite a few of these because, you know, with the help of the Misty, when you got your ink and your paper out, might as well go to town, right? So I'm going to be stamping up 6 of these. Just I don't know exactly why I chose 6, but it was just a magic number today. And we're going to be stamping these up with some Copic friendly blackout detail ink from Ink on 3. And then we are going to be getting into the coloring. So our first bunch is going to be using these 6 markers. I did pick up 6 markers here, but I do believe I ended up using only 5 of those. But I will be showing you parts of this. So this is going to be kind of like, it's sped up ×2, just so that it's not going to be like a 45-minute coloring video. But I will be marking down in the left-hand corner the actual Copic marker that I'm using. So this will obviously only relate to Copic. So if you're using another brand of marker, I don't know. But hopefully you'll be able to find one that is very, very similar. And if not, if you don't have this particular color or Copics, you can always just pick out sort of 4 or 5 markers, and then you start with your darkest in that color family. So we're going to start by lining out the petal, basically, where you will be having most of your shadows, where you want most of your contrast. And I have gone for the bottom of the petals here, depending on what color you're flowering, what flower you are coloring, that might be different. So if you need a reference, you can always just Google pictures of that particular flower and just pick one that you like, and then you try to color that. That is a great way to practice your coloring. So we're going to be moving on to our second color here, and today that is R35. So we're going to be going over the R37 completely, and then a little bit more. So with alcohol markers, because of the way that they're formulated, when you are coloring on top of each other, they react and they blend. So if you want a really, really smooth blend, you go over a little bit more. If you want less of a blend and more of a contrast between the colors, you just go over a little bit, or just barely, sort of thing. So this is another thing that is great to practice, because practice really does make perfect. So we're moving on to our third color, which is YR68. And this is quite an orangey color. And I can hear a few of you thinking, whoa, why? But the reason we're going in with a dark orange is because we're going to be blending that out with some of our lighter colors to get almost like a peachy look. So we're doing the same thing here. So with every marker we're adding, we're going over a little bit further up, a little bit more. So we are blending the previous colors and then adding another layer of the current color. So this is it's like an easy breezy way to add color and contrast and just getting a little bit of depth and dimension to your flower. So now our next color is YR65, and this one is a lot lighter than our YR68. So you will start to see here, and then it's gonna blend out the colors to create more of that sort of peachy look. That was sort of my idea in my head anyway. And depending on here how much you blend, the less, the more or less color you're gonna still have on your flower. So if you want a really smooth blend, as mentioned, you just go over it several times. If you want less of a blend, you add less color. So more blend, more color, less blend, less color. Okay, great. I am making so much sense on that. Now we are moving on to our fifth color, and this is EO1. Now, sometimes I like to leave a little bit of white right at the top of my petals to kind of mimic the light hitting that particular spot. But on this one, I didn't, because this is such a light color anyway. Now I will be replicating this exact coloring with the same colors again. It is very possible that I also added in a little bit of YRO2 in this one, but I cannot remember. And then we're moving on to our flowers, sorry, not flowers, our stems and our leaves. And I will be using the same greens for all of the leaves. Now I will be adding a slightly less or more green in certain areas to just make sure that they don't look all super samey, but still we're trying to achieve something that looks like they are coming from like the same greenhouse, I guess. Yeah. Okay, again, making a great deal of sense. And yes, so we have peachy, orangey flowers, we have yellows, we have purples, we have blue, and we have pink. And then we are going to cut these out with the coordinating die cut. And as soon as you cut them out, it just looks so much more fun. Great. I mean, I love a coordinating die cut. I really do. I cannot overstate this. And with all of my flowers cut out, it was, you know, I had to kind of make a little bit of a rainbow. Yes, I did. And it was time to kind of try to pick out which ones were going to go on the card, because I did realize that unless I made a super big card, I wasn't going to be able to fit them all in. So I decided to go for quite a springy look, even though those blue and the purple together, they look so fun. So I will definitely have to use them. But I did decide to go for the pink and one of the sort of coral, not coral, where's that coming from? Peachy, red, and the yellows. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I could layer them up like that, but no, so enough is enough, Erica. Like, how many flowers do you need on a card? The answer is never too many. But we are going to be making a slightly different background here. So with the help of my scoreboard, I am making lines at every sort of ½ inch mark. And this is just to create a little bit of a pattern on the paper. So we add a little bit of interest, but without taking away too much. So I've trimmed this down a little bit, and then we're going to be adding that to our card base. And then I did forget like how I'd laid them out to begin with. So I was like, okay, well, we're doing this again. And I really should have used my press and seal here, because this looked so much better with how I actually ended up adding the flowers. Here I had this crazy idea that, oh, I was going to be able to make all of the flowers kind of stick out and everyone was going to like be shown. And it wasn't really, no, it didn't really work out that great. So I really should have stuck with my first idea. I sometimes overthink things in the craft room, and it sometimes it works out to the better, and this time it just did not. So I should have listened to my gut and just stayed the course with my first one, or maybe even swapped out those cutout pieces to one of the extra ones, because maybe I knew I was gonna mess up and that's why I colored two the same. I don't know, but I did not listen to my gut, and so this isn't as great as it could have been, but at this point I was committed. I'm gonna make it work. So I stamped out a sentiment from the actual stamp set, Happy Tulips. I did have to do a little bit of puzzling and surgery, but I think it worked out really well anyway. And on top of this, because I have layered up so many flowers, I did have to add some foam tape, because otherwise it was going to be not very even and not look very pretty. So with a little bit of foam tape on the side, leaving a bit of a gap for the stems there at the bottom, we're gonna add this to our card. And when I have a slim, especially a slim strip like this, I like to use the grids on my mat to make sure that it goes on straight, because I am so notorious for getting on stuff wonky, like so notorious. And it's so annoying once it's on there and you cannot change it, because if you rip it, your whole card is ruined. And then, of course, because we're going to be blinging it up, we're going to be using the exotic ONYX pearls. These are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just, oh, I cannot again overstate how much I love these. They are black, but with that like iridescent kind of almost like petroleum shimmer on top. I love them. Just in case the number of them that I used on the card did not give that away. But you know, right? So Overblinger Anonymous are now accepting new members. So yes, there we have it. That is the card, and adding these pearls was so easy with the help of that brilliant embellishment one. Now I'm gonna need to get like the extra tips in like all of the colors because I love them too. But that is it from me for today. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to the Studio Katia YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you soon again. Bye for now.